Success is not built in a single moment. It is built in the small actions you repeat every day. Most people wait for big opportunities, but real winners focus on small habits that seem ordinary, but create extraordinary results over time. If you improve just 1% daily, your life will change in ways you cannot imagine. Discipline in small things leads to big achievements. Your future is not decided by luck. It is decided by what you do consistently. Start today, stay consistent, and watch how small habits turn into big results that transform your entire life. Now, start. Like consistency in small habits builds long-term success, because success is never the result of one big action, but the outcome of many small actions repeated over time. When you look at people who have achieved great things in life, it may seem like they became successful overnight, but in reality, they built their success step by step, day by day, through consistent effort in small habits that most people ignore. The truth is that what you do daily matters more than what you do occasionally. A single action may not change your life immediately, but when that action becomes a habit and is repeated consistently, it starts to shape your character, your mindset, and ultimately, your future. Small habits like waking up early, reading a few pages every day, practicing a skill for a short time, or staying disciplined with your goals may seem insignificant in the beginning, but over weeks, months, and years, they create a powerful foundation that cannot be broken easily. Remember, consistency is powerful because it builds momentum. At first, small habits feel difficult because they require effort and discipline, but as you continue, they become easier and more natural. Transformation happens silently. You do not notice it on day 1 or even day 10, but by day 100, you are no longer the same person. Your mind becomes stronger, your focus becomes sharper, and your actions become more intentional. People often underestimate the power of repetition, but repetition is what turns ordinary people into experts. If you practice something for just a few minutes every day, you are still moving forward, and that movement, no matter how small, is still progress. Over time, progress compounds, and what once felt small becomes something massive. Long-term success is not about intensity, it is about consistency. Many people start with high energy, but they fail to continue when motivation disappears. Motivation is temporary, but habits built through consistency are permanent. That is why relying on motivation alone is not enough. Instead, building systems of small habits ensures that even when you do not feel like working, you still move forward. For example, someone who studies only when they feel motivated will not progress as much as someone who studies a little every single day, regardless of mood. The difference between these two people becomes clear over time. One remains stuck in the same place, while the other gradually rises towards success. Another important aspect of consistency in small habits is that it reduces pressure. When goals are too big, people feel overwhelmed and often give up before starting. But when you break big goals into small habits, everything becomes manageable. Instead of thinking about achieving everything at once, you focus on completing one small step at a time. This approach removes fear and creates clarity. You stop worrying about the final destination and start focusing on the process. And interestingly, when you focus on the process with consistency, the destination becomes inevitable. Small habits also shape identity. You do not just perform actions, you become the type of person who performs those actions. If you consistently wake up early, you become a disciplined person. If you consistently learn and improve, you become a growth-oriented person. Identity is built through repetition. Every small habit sends a message to your mind about who you are becoming. Over time, these messages shape your self-image, and once your self-image changes, your entire life starts to change. Another powerful truth is that consistency multiplies results. One small action repeated daily does not just add up, it compounds. Like interest in a bank account, small habits grow silently in the background. At first, the change feels slow, almost invisible, but after some time, the results become undeniable. This is why people who stay consistent often outperform those who rely on talent alone. Talent gives a head start, but consistency decides how far you go. Without consistency, even the most talented person eventually falls behind. Life rewards patience combined with consistency. Many people quit too early because they do not see immediate results. They expect quick transformation, but real change takes time. Every small habit is like planting a seed. At first, you see nothing, but under the surface, roots are growing stronger every day. If you continue watering that seed with discipline and patience, it eventually grows into something strong and unshakable. But if you stop too early, nothing grows. This is the reality of success that most people fail to understand. And consistency in small habits also builds mental strength. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you train your mind to stay focused. Every time you repeat a positive action, you weaken laziness and strengthen willpower. Over time, your mind becomes more controlled, and you stop being easily influenced by emotions or temporary desires. This mental strength becomes one of your biggest assets in life because it allows you to stay on track even when things get difficult. But in the end, success is not about doing everything at once, but about doing small things consistently without giving up. The real power lies in showing up every single day, even when progress feels slow. Because every small step is shaping your future, even if you cannot see it immediately. When you understand this truth deeply, you stop chasing shortcuts and start respecting the process. And once you respect the process, consistency becomes natural, and long-term success becomes unavoidable. Discipline in daily routine creates powerful results because discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Without discipline, even the best plans remain only ideas. But with discipline, even ordinary plans turn into extraordinary success. Every person has dreams, but only a few are able to turn those dreams into reality. And the difference is not talent or luck. It is the discipline they apply in their daily routine. When you control your daily habits and follow a structured routine, you take control of your life. You stop reacting to circumstances and start shaping your future with intention and purpose. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent in doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. Lambda powerful daily routine is built on small, disciplined actions repeated every day. Waking up at a fixed time, planning your day, focusing on important tasks, avoiding distractions, and maintaining healthy habits may seem simple, but these small actions create a strong foundation for success. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack structure in their lives. Without discipline, time gets wasted, energy gets scattered, and focus gets lost. But when discipline enters your routine, everything starts to align. You begin to notice that your time is being used wisely, your mind is clearer, and your productivity increases naturally. And discipline in daily routine also builds momentum. At the beginning, following a strict routine may feel difficult because it requires effort to break old habits. But once discipline becomes part of your life, it starts to feel natural. The more you repeat disciplined actions, the easier they become. This is how transformation happens quietly over time. You may not see instant results, but every disciplined action is adding value to your future. For example, studying every day for a short time may not show immediate success, but over months, it builds deep knowledge and confidence. Similarly, exercising daily may feel tiring at first, but over time, it builds strength, energy, and resilience. One of the most important effects of discipline is that it reduces confusion. Many people feel lost because they do not have a clear routine. They wake up without a plan, spend their day reacting to distractions, and end their day feeling unproductive. Discipline removes this chaos. It gives structure to your day and clarity to your mind. When you know what you need to do and when you need to do it, you stop wasting energy on This clarity allows you to focus on what truly matters and move closer to your goals with purpose. Planned discipline also strengthens your self-control. Every time you choose your routine over distractions, you build mental strength. Every time you complete a task, even when you feel lazy, you train your mind to stay focused. This self-control becomes one of your greatest strengths in life, because it allows you to stay consistent, even in difficult situations. Life is full of challenges, and motivation alone cannot carry you through them. But discipline gives you the power to continue, even when motivation disappears. It turns effort into habit, and habit into identity. Another powerful impact of discipline in daily routine is that it creates long-term stability. Success is not built in a single day. It is built over time through repeated actions. A disciplined routine ensures that you are always moving forward, even if the progress feels slow. This steady progress creates stability in your life. Instead of experiencing random ups and downs, you start building a consistent path towards success. Over time, this stability turns into confidence because you begin to trust your own process. Good discipline also helps in managing time effectively. Time is one of the most valuable resources, but without discipline, it gets wasted easily. A structured routine ensures that every hour of your day has a purpose. You start prioritizing important tasks instead of wasting time on unproductive activities. This efficient use of time leads to better results in less time. When you are disciplined with your schedule, you achieve more in a day than most people achieve in a week. Another important aspect is that discipline builds respect for yourself. When you consist to follow you prove to yourself that you are capable of doing what you say you will do. This builds self-trust, and when you trust yourself, your confidence grows naturally. You stop doubting your abilities because your actions reflect reliability and strength. This inner confidence becomes a powerful force that pushes you forward in life. On discipline. Discipline in daily routine also affects your mindset. A disciplined person develops a positive and focused mindset because their actions are aligned with their goals. Instead of being distracted by temporary pleasures, they stay focused on long-term success. This mindset shift changes everything. You start seeing challenges as opportunities and difficulties as part of growth. You stop giving excuses and start taking responsibility for your life. Over time, discipline turns into identity. You no longer see yourself as someone trying to be disciplined. You become a disciplined person. This identity shift is extremely powerful because it changes how you think, act, and make decisions. When discipline becomes part of who you are, success is no longer something you chase, it becomes something you naturally attract through your daily routine. Come on. Discipline also creates a ripple effect in all areas of life. When you are disciplined in one area, it starts improving other areas as well. For example, if you are disciplined with your time, you become more productive in your studies or work. If you are disciplined with your health, your energy levels improve, which helps you perform better in other tasks. This interconnected growth shows how powerful discipline truly is. Come on. Ultimately, discipline in daily routine is the foundation of all great achievements. It is not about doing extraordinary things occasionally, but about doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. Every small, disciplined action builds towards something greater. And when these actions are repeated daily, they create results that are powerful, lasting, and life-changing. You know, focus on improvement, not perfection, because perfection is an illusion that often stops people from starting, while improvement is a real and continuous process that leads to growth. Many people delay their progress in life because they're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. But life rarely offers perfection. Instead, life rewards those who take action and keep improving step by step. When you shift your mindset from perfection to improvement, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure and begin to move forward with consistency. Improvement is about progress, not flawless execution. and progress is what ultimately leads to success. Banned perfection creates fear, but improvement creates courage. When someone tries to be perfect in everything they do, they often become afraid of making mistakes. This fear stops them from taking action. They overthink, they hesitate, and they eventually delay their growth. On the other hand, when the focus is on improvement, mistakes are seen as part of the journey. Every mistake becomes a lesson, and every lesson becomes a step forward. This mindset allows you to act without fear and grow without limits. You stop asking yourself whether something will be perfect and start asking yourself whether it will make you better than yesterday. Improvement is a gradual process that builds strength over time. No one becomes skilled, successful, or confident overnight. Every expert was once a beginner who decided to improve a little every day. Even small improvements, when repeated consistently, lead to massive transformation. For example, improving just one small skill daily may not seem significant in the beginning, but over weeks and months, those small improvements accumulate into a powerful level of expertise. This is the power of focusing on progress instead of perfection. It allows you to grow continuously without putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. And when you focus on perfection, you often compare yourself with unrealistic standards. You start measuring your progress against ideal outcomes that are difficult or even impossible to achieve. This comparison creates frustration and disappointment. But when you focus on improvement, you only compare yourself with your past self. You ask yourself whether you are better today than you were yesterday. This simple shift changes everything. Instead of feeling pressured by others' success, you feel motivated by your own growth. Your journey becomes personal, meaningful, and sustainable. Improvement also encourages consistency. Perfection often demands too much from the beginning, which makes people give up easily. But improvement allows flexibility. You do not need to be perfect, you just need to be better than before. This makes it easier to stay consistent, even on difficult days. Consistency, combined with improvement, creates unstoppable progress. Even when progress feels slow, you are still moving forward, and that movement is what matters most. With time, these small improvements add up and create results that seem extraordinary to others, but are simply the outcome of daily effort. Mom and Dad, another important aspect of focusing on improvement is that it builds resilience. When your goal is perfection, every failure feels like a setback. But when your goal is improvement, every failure becomes feedback. You start seeing challenges as opportunities to learn instead of reasons to quit. This mindset makes you stronger because you are no longer afraid of failure. Instead, you embrace it as part of the process. Each failure teaches you something new, and each lesson helps you improve further. Mind improvement also removes the pressure of unrealistic expectations. Many people feel overwhelmed because they expect themselves to do everything perfectly from the start. This pressure leads to stress and burnout. But when you focus on improvement, you allow yourself to grow at a natural pace. You understand that growth takes time and that every small step matters. This patience helps you stay calm and focused, even when things are not going perfectly. You begin to appreciate the journey instead of rushing toward the destination. In real life, perfection is rarely achievable, but improvement is always possible. No matter where you are in life, there is always something you can improve. Whether it is your skills, your mindset, your habits, or your discipline, there is always room for growth. This realization is powerful because it keeps you moving forward. Instead of feeling stuck or limited, you feel empowered by the possibility of continuous development. Improvement gives you control over your growth because it depends on effort, not external conditions. Begin and focusing on improvement also helps you build confidence. As you improve little by little, you start noticing changes in your abilities. These small wins boost your self-belief. You begin to trust yourself more because as you can see your progress clearly, this confidence grows over time and becomes a strong foundation for future success. Unlike perfection, which often creates doubt due to high expectations, Improvement builds confidence through real and consistent achievements. Minds. Another powerful effect of focusing on improvement is that it makes learning more enjoyable. When you are not worried about being perfect, you become more open to trying new things. You experiment, you explore, and you learn without fear. This curiosity accelerates your growth because you are constantly gaining new experiences. Learning becomes a natural part of your life instead of a stressful task. You start enjoying the process of becoming better rather than stressing about being perfect. Being improvement also leads to long-term success because it is sustainable. Perfection is exhausting because it demands too much at once, but improvement is manageable because it happens step by step. Over time, this steady progress creates a strong foundation for success that cannot be easily broken. People who focus on improvement are able to stay in the game longer because they are not discouraged by small failures or imperfections. They understand that success is a journey built on continuous effort. And when you truly adopt the mindset of improvement over perfection, your entire approach to life changes. You become more patient, more disciplined, and more focused. You stop chasing unrealistic standards and start building real progress. Every day becomes an opportunity to get better, even if only slightly. And these small improvements, repeated consistently over time, lead to extraordinary transformation that perfection could never achieve. And small actions repeated daily lead to big achievements, because success is not built in one moment, it is built in many small moments that come together over time. Most people underestimate the power of small actions because they look too simple to matter. But the truth is that everything big in life starts small. A strong building starts with a single brick. A long journey starts with a single step. And a successful life starts with small habits repeated consistently every day. Repeat small actions daily. They compound into powerful results that completely transform your life in ways you may not notice at the beginning, but become undeniable over time. The human mind often looks for quick results, but real growth does not happen quickly. It happens gradually through repetition. Small actions may feel insignificant in the moment, but their real power lies in consistency. If you read a few pages every day, you may not feel any major change in a week, but after months, your knowledge expands significantly. If you practice a skill for a short time daily, you may not see immediate mastery, but over time, your ability becomes stronger and more refined. This is how small actions shape greatness silently in the background, while most people are distracted by shortcuts and instant success. Blended. The reason small actions are so powerful is because they build habits. Once an action becomes a habit, it no longer requires strong motivation or effort. It becomes part of your routine, something you do automatically. This automatic behavior is what creates long-term success. For example, brushing your teeth, exercising lightly, studying daily, or planning your day may seem simple, but when done consistently, they shape your discipline, mindset, and productivity. Habits formed through small actions become the foundation of your identity and determine the direction of your life. Secondly, another powerful aspect of small daily actions is that they create momentum. At the beginning, progress may feel slow, but as you continue, momentum builds naturally. Each small action adds energy to the next one, making it easier to continue. This is why starting is often the hardest part, but once you begin and stay consistent, things start to flow more easily. Momentum turns effort into rhythm, and rhythm turns effort into results. Over time, what once required discipline becomes something you naturally do without resistance. Small actions also reduce pressure. Many people fail because they try to do too much at once. They set big goals and expect immediate results, and when they cannot achieve them quickly, they give up. But when you break big goals into small daily actions, everything becomes manageable. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you focus on simple steps that you can complete every day. This makes progress sustainable because you are not exhausting yourself mentally or physically. You are moving forward at a steady pace that you can maintain for a long time. And consistency is the key that unlocks the power of small actions. One small action alone does not create change, but repeated actions do. The difference between success and failure is often not talent or intelligence, but consistency. People who stay consistent with small actions eventually outperform those who rely on occasional effort. This is because consistency. Every small action adds up, and over time, the accumulation becomes visible results that seem big and impressive. Small daily actions also shape your mindset. When you consistently do something productive, your mind begins to adapt to discipline. You start thinking differently, acting differently, and approaching challenges with more confidence. Your identity slowly shifts from someone who hesitates to someone who acts. This transformation does not happen overnight, but through repetition. Every small action sends a message to your brain that you are capable, disciplined, and focused. Over time, these messages shape your self-belief and determine your future success. Made. Another important aspect is that small actions help you build resilience. When actions are small, they are easier to maintain, even during difficult times. You may not always feel motivated, but small tasks are still manageable. This allows you to stay consistent, even when life becomes challenging. Over time, this consistency builds mental strength and emotional stability. You learn how to keep going regardless of circumstances, and this resilience becomes one of your greatest strengths in life. Then small actions also create long-term transformation through compounding. Just like money grows through compound interest, your efforts grow through repetition. A small improvement every day may not seem significant at first, but over time it multiplies into something powerful. This compounding effect is what turns ordinary people into successful individuals. They do not rely on one big effort, but on many small efforts repeated over time that eventually create extraordinary results. Malene, one of the most powerful truths about small actions, is that they are always available. You do not need special conditions, perfect timing, or external approval to take small actions. You can start right now with what you have. This accessibility makes them extremely powerful because there are no barriers to entry. Whether it is learning something new, improving your habits, or working on your goals, small actions are always possible. This means progress is always within your control. Small actions also build discipline without pressure. Instead of forcing yourself to make huge changes, you focus on manageable steps. This reduces resistance and makes it easier to stay consistent. Over time, discipline becomes natural rather than forced. You stop struggling with motivation and start relying on habits. This shift is important because it ensures that your progress continues even when motivation disappears. Means. Another powerful outcome of small daily actions is confidence. Every completed action, no matter how small, gives you a sense of achievement. These small wins build confidence over time. You start believing in your ability to improve and succeed. This growing confidence pushes you to take on bigger challenges, which further accelerates your growth. Confidence built through action is much stronger than confidence based on words or thoughts. Actually, small actions repeated daily lead to big achievements because they change everything from your habits to your mindset to your identity. What starts as a small effort becomes a lifestyle. What begins as discipline becomes character, and what begins as simple actions becomes life-changing success. Over time, the results become so large that people only see the final outcome, not the small daily actions that created it.